Welcome to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at your waist. Turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful. Shift your weight to the left foot. Good Tai Chi posture. Kick your right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. 1, 2, 3. Shift your weight. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up your span, parallel feet, choose the right side, cross and sit on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift weight, cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cross training. Fanjirong, fingers widespread, going forward. Yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup, reverse. Yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup. Okay, making circles with our foot. First standing on your left, circle with your right. Gyur hoi mun. Yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup, reverse. Yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup. Stand on your right, circle with your left. Be, yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup. Reverse, yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup. Okay, pile of sand in front of us. Jukmu wandong. Stand on your left, kick up the sand with your right. Be, yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup. Pedal forward. Yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup. Stand on your right, kick up the sand with your left. Ve, yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup. Pedal forward. Yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup. New one. Whole windmill, Dai Feng Che. Hands parallel to the left, one continuous motion. Bei, yu lick, gang lick, sao lick. Yat. Ni. Sam. Say. Look. Chat, bat, go, sup. Right feng shui, yu bei. Yu lick, gang lick, sao lick. Yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup. Okay, so I hope that didn't deplete all your energy. but we are using different muscles, so you may feel some aches, because we're still building up to Tai Chi, remember, okay? All right, golden cockerel. Good Tai Chi posture, dropping those shoulders, relaxing those knees, growing through your spine, tucking your butt, chin slightly down, stance apart, golden cockerel. Last set. Kicking out. 50-50, shift weight to the left. Gather and center the energy, kick out right. Last set. Holding our ball, root down, T stance, out and to the side, L, move the energy, bow stance, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, T and a ball, bring it in, out and to the side, L, move the energy, turn the hips and waist, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, center with a ball, out and to the side, L, move the energy, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, pivot, center with a ball and a T, out and to the side, move the energy, turn the hips and waist. Here it is. Sit back, sit down. You say the words to yourself. Hold your ball in a T stance. We're going to ward off. T stance, L stance, bottom hand advances to ward off your opponent. Push him away, forearm him. Turn the hips and waist, reposition your hands, sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist to look back, contact, turn at the hips and waist, push from the center of your body, energy goes out, separates it, sit down, sit, bring up, stand up, lunge forward. Sit down, sit back, pivot, hold your ball in a T stance, out on an L, bottom hand advances to ward off your opponent. Pause, turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands, sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist, contact, turn at the hips and waist, center of the body, push that energy out, separate the hands, roll back, sit down, come up, go forward. Okay, something's happening because you're going a little ahead of me because you're missing a step, okay? Follow what I say. T stance, hold your ball. L stance, ward off. Pause, turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands. Sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist to look back. Contact, turn at the hips and waist, center of the body, push the energy away, out, separate, roll back, sit down, come up, then come forward. A lot of you are not coming up. Sit back, sit down, pivot, T stance, holding your ball. L stance, out and to the side. Bottom hand advances to ward off with your right hand. Pause, turn hips and waist, reposition hands. Sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist to look back. Contact, turn at the hips and waist, center of the body, push, separate the energy, roll back, listen, sit down, come up, then lunge forward. Sit down, sit back, twist step, hold your ball in a T stance, L, push, pause, turn, reposition, sit down, sit back, look back, contact, turn at the waist, push out, separate, roll back, sit down, come up, then lunge forward, sit down, sit back, pivot, root down, T stance, ball, L stance, bottom hand advances, ward off, pause, turn hips and waist, reposition hands, sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist to look back, contact, turn again, push out in the middle, separate the hands, roll back, sit down, then up, then forward. A little better this time. Remember for yourself and internalize the commands with your movement. Okay, this time I'm going to try to reinforce it by calling out some key words. T stance, out and to the side. L stance, ward off. Pause, turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands. Sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist to look back. Contact, turn again at the hips and waist, center of the body, push the energy out. Separate the hands, roll back and sit down. Come up. Lunge forward. Other side, twist step, T stance, ball, L stance, push, forearm, pause, turn hips and waist, reposition hands, sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist to look back, contact, turn at the hips and waist, push out the energy, separate the hands, roll back, sit down, spiral up, then forward. Good. Okay, repulsing of the monkey. Left hand to the shoulder, right hand up higher. Oh, is this going to work? Yeah. Oh, brush knee, sorry. Brush knee. Here we go, multitasking. Set it up correctly. Multi. Turn the hips and waist. Magic of brush knee. Sit back. Sit down, pivot, set it up correctly, left hand higher, right hand to the shoulder on a T stance, multi, turn hips and waist, magic begins. Sit back, sit down, pivot, set it up correctly, right hand higher, left hand to your shoulder on a T, multitask, ear, hand, heel. Turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, set it up correctly on a T, multi, turn the hips and waist, brush knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, set it up correctly, multi, turn hips and waist, there you have it. Sit back, sit down, pivot, set it up correctly, multi, turn hips and waist, there's the magic. Sit back, sit down, pivot, internalize, you call it out for yourself. Reinforcing it for you. Set it up correctly. Right hand higher, left hand to your shoulder on a T. Multitask. Ear, hand, heel. Magic by turning the hips and waist. Hands go for the ride. Brush knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Left hand higher, right hand to your shoulder. Set it up correctly on a T. Multi. Hand, head, heel. Magic by turning hips and waist. Brush knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Set it up correctly. Multi. Turn hips and waist. Brush knee. Last one. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Set it up correctly. Multi. Magic of brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Left hand in the middle, right hand up higher. Flatten the feet. We're going to repulse the monkey. Bring the back hand to your head. Turn the hips and waist. Meet hands in the center. Push forward, pull back. Center. Glance at the back hand that's higher. Open. Put it to your ear. Turn your head. Meet both hands in the center. Repulsing of the monkey. Keep where you are. Center. Glance at the back hand that's higher. Bring it to the ear. Turn your head and neck. Meet hands in the center. Repulse the monkey. Center. Glance at the back hand. Bring it to the ear. Turn your head. Meet in the center. Repulse the monkey. On your own. But this is where repulse of the monkey comes from, okay? And then you kind of understand why everything has to be perfect. So this, what I just did is the movement, repulsing of the monkey in Yang style Tai Chi, form 24. Okay, form 24, we're doing the 10. The 10 is an abbreviation of the 24. But the components of the movement still remain the same other than moving our backwards Tai Chi walk. To walk backwards and yet do Tai Chi walk backwards requires a lot of safety. So when we learn to repulse a monkey, there are safety measures already embedded into it. For instance, when we walk backwards, we need our energy centered rather than outwards, because we need that our core has to be straight up. Therefore, the center hand has to be in the center of us, and not low and not high, but in the center level. So that's one thing. The other hand is back here. To repulse the monkey, we're going to have to bring everything towards our center and pull back. And the other side occurs. So in an abbreviated way, we're centered and we're going to meet both hands in the middle to consolidate our energy for better balance when we move backwards. Then we're going to push the top hand forward and pull the back one. Okay, can we see you do it? So, starting with the right hand higher, okay? Right hand higher. That's your right hand, my left hand. Okay, glancing at the back hand, bring it to the ear. Turn your head and neck, meet hands in the middle, pull back, push forward. Center, Glance at the back hand that's higher. Open both palms. Bring it to the head. Turn your head and neck. Meet in the center. Slide forward and back. Center. Glance at the higher hand. Bring it to the head. Turn the head and neck. Meet in the center. Slide forward, slide back. Where am I sliding forward and sliding back? I'm not here. I'm here. I've got to weight down on the back because I've got a backwards motion. So you want to drop that hand that goes to the hips and waist. Now that left, right hand skims that hip. Center, higher, glance, open, head, turn, meet, slide. Center, higher, glance, open, head, turn, meet. Okay, so look at my meet. One ball is coming from the ceiling and one ball's coming at me. So that's the positioning of your hand, okay? And then they're meeting, so they're not up here, they're meeting. The hands are meeting closer to you, okay? Because that's the way of centering when I walk backwards. Then slide. Set that parameter up first, okay, to meet. Then you slide. Head, turn, meet. Is that ball coming down from the ceiling? Cup it this way, yeah. Then slide. Glance. Head. Turn. Meet. Slide. Okay, so the biggest correction that I can help you with is that center hand, it has to catch that ball from the center, so therefore it can't curve that hand. It has to be, the mitt has to be open this way so the ball can just land there. But it can't be to the side because then it'll just bounce away from the edge of your glove, okay? So that hand has to be ready to catch that ball there. But in the same time, that other hand has to be catching that ball coming straight at you. It's two balls, okay? So this guy helped, that hand that cups from the ceiling ball sets up the parameter and centers you. And then you push and pull away. All right. It seems like a small a correction or positioning, but it's an important one. So this is the T. This is the T. Weight it down, okay? So I cannot see you with the posted right foot straight up. It has to come down, but it cannot come down this way. If it comes down this way, there's no energy. Half the energy is already expended. So if we're in good Tai Chi posture, the T, the capital T is just, this right foot is ready to go. It cannot be posted straight up because there's more likely lots of weight on this insubstantial foot. Therefore, the knee has to be relaxed, but it cannot be relaxed till like this. It has to just be, I don't want to say flex, it just has to be ready to go, rooted down. All right? So get this position and show me this T position now. All right? All right. Hands at your waist. Okay. We're going to take an L stance. Just to refresh your memory, an L stance is out and to the side on the heel. How? Out and to the side. Where's your hand showing me out and to the side on the heel? One motion. Here. Where? Here. You know where? All right. T stance, L stance, and hold your position. Hold your position. Okay, so most everybody has it wrong. Most everybody has it wrong. Why? Keep your position. Drag that forward position back, all the way back. What happens? It clashes the foot. So that's not an L stance, okay? Okay, put your hands down, rest, and relax, and watch what I'm doing. Remember we said this is a T, and remember we said out and to the side on the heel is an L stance. To check to see whether you do have an L stance, you come out here and you drag the foot back. You come out into the side, you drag the foot back, and there should be a gap. I rarely see anybody with that gap anymore. You lost it, okay? So what can we do to rectify that is, whenever you're on a T stance, to get into an L stance, you not only have to go out, but you have to come back a little bit more, or out and to the side. This is, if you just come here, this is out, but it's surely not to the side, right? So if this is a T stance, and people are looking at me rather than their feet, because your feet and my feet are not doing the same thing, okay? And it can be confusing. If this is a T stance, to get into an L stance, you have to go out, but to the side. You cannot just go out. That's not an L, it's another T if you drag that foot back. So you need to come out and to the side, or out and to the back, so that if you drag your foot back, you have the gap. But in a Tai Chi world, this is the L stance. It's not connected. Okay, can I show you something? I want to show you the reason why it's important, okay? This is my T stance. This is my good L. If I did not have this out and to the side, I would not be able to turn my hips and waist and come into a bow stance. Another way to estimate how much of a span you need is to use your width of your shoulder. So if I'm on a T and I want to come on an L, when I finally rotate, my foot is in line with my shoulder. It's not way beyond, so that when I turn, it's sticking way out there and it's very awkward. Okay? Okay, 8th lesson. Okay, so we're gonna have to patch up some of our.
One thing to get into your mind is, don't be so anxious to advance. Tai Chi is a series of positions where if you're in a given position, say you're in a T-step, you're in a very stable position, you're about to move to another position. So there is a chance to be unstable, but you're going to move in the proper way. But give yourself time to set up so that when you end up in whatever position you're going to be L form, you are also in a stable position. For instance, if I just, from here, I just come forward, I haven't really taken the time to figure out where's my feet going to go. It's just too fast. I might do it here, I might do it here. Most people, by convenience, hey, if you get right in front, it's okay. But when you try to do the next step, you are unstable. You become a tightrope walker. And your stability this way and that way is not so good. Versus if you stable, I'm stable here. I stay here and I say, take my time, stay home. Choose the place of future stability. Turn. My shoulders are straight. I got my stability this way somewhat, and I got my stability this way, okay? So take the time, and some of it is a function of strength, but some of it is not realizing that you're really stable when you're at a T-step, and then you should stay home until you set up the next place you're going to be, so that when you end up, you will be stable, okay? So out and to the side.
In my other classes, we learn to refine what we laid the foundations for in level 1, your class. So one of the biggest refinements is T stance, L stance, bow the legs, then round the crotch and sit down, and bow step, okay? So that will come eventually. If you feel you're at that point, then you come to see me or you come to the next class, okay? So in a nutshell, we are learning the basics, the good foundations to move into the 24 and to get better in all of Tai Chi. T stance, L stance, bow stance. But like all movements, it can be refined. You're taking rather superficial movements and understanding. So what I did say in my classes and on YouTube and on Olelo with other footages, I say T stance, I say L stance, I say bow the leg or round the crotch, and then the energy comes over. Okay, so that's a good question, but for later, okay? Practice. No hands. T stance, root down the energy on the right, take an L out into the side, turn the hips and waist, move the energy, flatten out, bow stance, adjust the back foot, sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, T stance, out into the side, turn the hips and waist, flatten down, bow stance. Okay, at some point I'm going to ask you to hold your stance. So really do it clearly, okay, and precise. Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, T stance, out and to the side on your heel, L stance, turn the hips and waist, bow stance, okay? Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, T stance, out and to the side on your heel, L, turn the hips and waist, bow. Now, you're going to keep your position. You're going to get out of Tai Chi posture. You're going to drag your right foot back in a straight line right now. And you're going to stand up. And you're going to ask yourself, I'm not going to point it out to you. Do you have that gap that I was looking for? And if you say yes, and if you say no, there are ways to fix it up, okay? So the people who have a gap may say, it's still too small. I don't have that gap of at least 4 or 5 inches. Okay, so we're gonna have to fix it up. So how can we fix it up? Start again, T stance. When you take the out and to the side, don't take a wide span going forward, but take a comfortable span going to the outside or to the side so that you can step away from the block that you are on to another block. Okay? So maybe that's a little confusing, but it will work. Put your right heel on a cross section of a block and put that foot right on the line, okay? On the line. Take the left foot and put it on the bisecting line or the right angle, and this, I'm sorry, okay, halfway. Right foot is halfway between on a cross section, and the left foot is on that cross line. Okay, this is the T. When you take an L, the left foot should go find a new block, outside of a new block. Okay, T is on the line or the cross section. When you take an L, put your heel outside the next line. Then turn the hips and waist, bow stance. Now, if you drag your front foot back, you should have at least a block of gap. Yeah. Did it make a difference? Yes or no? So what can you do? Use the lines or imagine lines when you practice if there are no lines on the tile. Okay? But that's that gap that we always are looking for. All right? One more time, 2 more times, 3 more times. Here we go. T stance, out and to the side, L. Turn the hips and waist, flatten out. There you have it. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. You're on the line. You're cross-sectioning the line on a T. On an L, you're going to go out on a new block. Turn the hips and waist, flatten down, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. pivot, root down, T stance, out and to the side on a new block, turn the hips and waist, bow stance, sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, T, L stance out on a heel, on a new block, turn the hips and waist, bow. Now, drag the front foot back and see what you have. It should be a little better, okay? So if you say it's better and you want to get it even better than that, then that foot has to go a little further out, okay? But not to the point where you feel stretched out, comfortably out, but not out and then side, and then you don't know where your center of gravity is. You're stretched, you can't do it, you're not in balance, okay? So you're gonna have to kind of work on it. You also notice that your home base is where you are, but when we started to move in that T stance and L stance, you kept on going back. It's okay, that's the nature of that movement or motion, okay? And so when we do several sets of 10 form, you find yourself moving back, and then when you start up again, you should make that adjustment. How many know what I'm talking about? Hooray. So good questions, good observation. So we have to take care of ourselves now, okay? So go home and practice, because it's going to really bother your Tai Chi movements if you can't get that alignment correctly done. All right, 5 minutes left. I can field any question, and we're going to do our 10 form, okay? And that's our good lesson for today. We didn't introduce cloud hands because I think we needed some brushing up. Agree? Yeah, good. You know, Tai Chi is demanding, but we try to let it just kind of soak in and absorb what we can, and don't get stressed out over it, okay? And what we want to achieve is that we're learning more about our body. And if we learn the alignment correctly, then we can go on and further our Tai Chi understanding. But if something is incorrect right away, it's gonna stop you. It's gonna prevent you from enjoying much, much more Tai Chi. Good Tai Chi posture, dropping those shoulders, tucking your butt under, commencing form. Shift weight to the right, on your toe, open, toe, arch, heel, hands rotate. Take a deep breath in as we elevate both hands at shoulder level. Drop the shoulder, tuck your elbow, flex your knee. Left hand in the center, right hand up higher, open palms to the ceiling. Bring the back hand as you glance to your head. Turn your head and neck. Meet both hands in the center as you repulse the monkey. Center, glance at the left hand, open the palm, watch it to your head, turn your head and neck, meet hands in the center, push forward, pull back. T stance, parallel and higher. We're going to brush our knee. Set it up correctly, multi, turn the hips and waist, magic of brushing your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, set it up correctly, T stance. Multi, turn hips and waist as you brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, hold your ball on a T stance. We're going to part the wild horse's mane. Take an L, turn the hips and waist, go up the horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, pivot, hold your ball on a T stance, out and to the side on your heel, turn the hips and waist, part the wild horse's mane. flip the forward hand so you no longer see the palm. Join it with the back hand to see the palm. You're in a bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, stem and cup, 12 o'clock. We want to get out to the 9 o'clock. Therefore, our left heel has to pivot out. At 9 o'clock, two things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet, cloud hands. 12 o'clock, stem cup. 3 o'clock, flip the hands, open the feet. Stem cup, 12 o'clock. This time at 9 o'clock, we only flip the hands. We use our hips and waists to get out to the 3 o'clock. We flip the hands, close the feet. 12 o'clock, stem cup, directing it by our hips and waist. 9 o'clock, two things happen. Flip and open, 12. 3 o'clock, we only flip the hands. At the 12 o'clock, we shift our weight to the left foot and come up as a golden cockerel. Shift weight to the right, golden cockerel. Come down, 50-50, shift weight to the left, cross the hands, right hand on the outside, follow the kick with your right foot and right hand and eyes. Left hand, left foot up and out. Holding our ball in a T stance, we're going to ward off. Out and to the side on an L, bottom hand advances to forearm our opponent. Pause, turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands. Sit down, sit back, look back, contact. Turn at the hips and waist, end of the body, push. Separate the hands, roll back, sit down, come up, lunge forward. Sit down, sit back, twist step, left hand on the bottom, right hand on top to hold the ball. Out on an L, move that ball, bottom hand, left hand advances the forearm. Pause, turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands, sit down, turn at the hips and waist to look back, contact, turn at the hips and waist to push from the center, separate the energy, sit back, sit down, come up, come forward, sit back, twist, open, in, embrace the tiger with the right hand inside the cross, shift your weight, close that, rotate your hands, bring it up to your chest, bring the tiger closer to you, push him away, separate the hands, drop the shoulders, tuck the elbows, flex the knees as we now close our form. Good Tai Chi posture, dropping those shoulders, tucking your butt under, commencing form. Shift weight to the right, on your toe, open, toe, arch, heel, hands rotate. Take a deep breath in as we elevate both hands at shoulder level. Drop the shoulder, tuck your elbow, flex your knee. Left hand in the center, right hand up higher, open palms to the ceiling. Bring the back hand as you glance to your head. Turn your head and neck. Meet both hands in the center as you repulse the monkey. Center, glance at the left hand, open the palm, watch it to your head, turn your head and neck, meet hands in the center, push forward, pull back. T stance, parallel and higher. We're going to brush our knee. Set it up correctly, multi, turn the hips and waist, magic of brushing your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, set it up correctly, T stance. Multi, turn hips and waist as you brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, Hold your ball on a T stance. We're going to part the wild horse's mane. Take an L, turn the hips and waist, go up the horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, pivot, hold your ball on a T stance, out and to the side on your heel, turn the hips and waist, part the wild horse's mane. Flip the forward hand so you no longer see the palm. Join it with the back hand to see the palm. You're in a bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, stem and cup, 12 o'clock. We want to get out to the 9 o'clock. Therefore, our left heel has to pivot out. At 9 o'clock, two things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet, cloud hands. 12 o'clock, stem cup. 3 o'clock, flip the hands, open the feet. Stem cup, 12 o'clock. This time at 9 o'clock, we only flip the hands. We use our hips and waist to get out to the 3 o'clock. We flip the hands, close the feet. 12 o'clock, stem cup, directing it by our hips and waist. 9 o'clock, two things happen. Flip and open, 12. 3 o'clock, we only flip the hands. At the 12 o'clock, we shift our weight to the left foot and come up as a golden cockerel. Shift weight to the right, golden cockerel. Come down, 50-50, shift weight to the left, cross the hands, right hand on the outside, follow the kick with your right foot and right hand and eyes. Left hand, left foot up, and out. Holding our ball on a T stance, we're going to ward off. Out and to the side on an L, bottom hand advances to forearm our opponent. Pause, turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands, sit down, sit back, look back, contact, turn at the hips and waist, center of the body, push, separate the hands, roll back, sit down, come up, lunge forward, sit down, sit back, twist step, left hand on the bottom, right hand on top to hold the ball, out on an L, move that ball, bottom hand, left hand advances the forearm, pause, turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands, sit down, turn at the hips and waist to look back, contact, turn at the hips and waist to push from the center, separate the energy, sit back, sit down, come up, come forward, sit back, twist, open, in, embrace the tiger with the right hand inside the cross, shift your weight, close that, rotate your hands, bring it up to your chest, bring the tiger closer to you, push him away, separate the hands, drop the shoulders, tuck the elbows, flex the knees as we now close our form. Okay. Okay, good job. See you next time.